Hello, I'm Scott Finch, principal of Hebron High School. So let's get this ceremony started. Seniors, please remain standing and join me in welcoming Hebron High School Senior Class President and the senior with the best personality, Mr. Adam Halimi.
Thank you to the charismatic Mr. Finch for the introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2017 Hebron Graduation Ceremony. First and foremost, I would like to give a special thanks to the parents, family, and friends who have joined us today. Your decision to invest in your student has helped make it possible for all of us to be here today. To my fellow students, we are the future of our society. Today we have taken another step in becoming the leaders. We must truly be a city upon a hill. However, as the fledgling leaders of our society, we are faced with a very difficult question. What now? There truly is no perfect answer to that question. Take my dad, for example. My father, Dr. Hassan Sami Halimi, was born into a large family in Gaza. He was ranked third out of a pool of a couple thousand students. Now, if you've ever seen my grades, you could see we're two very different people. His dedicated work earned him a scholarship to leave Palestine and attend a foreign college to pursue a better life. He chose to go to Europe to study, but claims to have a last-minute change of heart after seeing the long lines for Europe at the airport. Now, if you know me, you see where I get my ADHD from. That one decision changed his life and mine. He was on his way to America. My point is, every day we will be faced with challenges and decisions. It is our time as leaders to take these obstacles head on and make choices where others would struggle. Although easier said than done, each of us has the ability to make these tough decisions. Thank you. I'd like to give a special thanks to my family and my teachers for helping guide my decisions. Also, a huge shout out to the boys. And lastly, I'd like to give one last thank you to my senior class for an unforgettable 4 years. It has been my honor to be the president of the 2017 Hebron Senior Class. I could not have asked for a better group of students. Now, please remain standing, and gentlemen, please remove your hats for the presentation of colors by the Navy Junior ROTC Color Guard and the playing of the Star-Spangled Banner by the Hebron Band.
Okay. Drums only.
Thank you. You may be seated. Now then, please give a warm welcome for your next speaker and a fellow Longhorn, Ali Baiwala.
Thank you, Adam. Parents, teachers, guests, and most of all, Hebron students, welcome this afternoon to the class of 2017 graduation. 4 years ago, we walked in through those doors of Hebron High School, eager to make new friends, face new challenges, and accomplish great things. 2 fires, 4 evacuations, 1 bomb threat, and a whole bunch of anticipation later, we finally made it. Wow, high school has been such an unforgettable journey. Being here today is the product of loving, supportive parents and the incredible Hebron faculty. I know we may not always show it, being the selfish and egotistical teens we are, but we students are truly grateful for the time and effort y'all have put into our education and future. So before I go, I know some of you will be struggling to stay awake. Halimi, my eyes are on you. But just know, this ceremony is to honor each and every one of you. Although high school has come to an end, our time together will never be forgotten. We have thrived as Hawks, and our success will always be remembered. Thank you. Now, here's the leader of our small town farming community, Mr. Finch.
Thank you, Ali. I appreciate that. And also, congratulations, Ali, on being one of the top 20 students in your class. At this time, I would like to invite the senior band members to make their place with the band. Now, I would like to introduce our honored guests on stage in the front row of the Coliseum floor as well. Please hold your applause until all introductions have been made of each group. Honored guests, when called, please remain standing until all members of your group have been introduced. After receiving your applause, each group may be seated. First is our distinguished school board. The Louisville Independent School District Board of Trustees are our President, Mrs. Angie Cox, Vice President, Mrs. Kronda Timich, Secretary, Mrs. Catherine Sells, Trustee, Mrs. Christy Hassett, Trustee, Mr. Tracy Scott Miller, Trustee, Mrs. Jenny Prosnick, and Trustee, Mrs. Tricia Sheffield. Please give our trustees a warm round of applause. Next is the district's impressive leadership team. Assistant Superintendent of Community Engagement, Dr. Beth Brockman. Chief Financial Officer, Mr. Michael Ball. Next, Chief Schools Officer, Dr. Joseph Coburn. Assistant Superintendent of Human Capital, Dr. Buddy Bonner. Chief Learning and Teaching Officer, Dr. Lori Rapp. And our East Zone Leader, Mrs. Leanne Lewis. Please give our district leaders a warm welcome. Next is the leadership team of Hebron High School. The principal of the Hebron High School's 9th grade campus, the always energetic Mrs. Amanda Wernicke. Hebron High School's assistant principals, Mr. Dedrick Buckles, Mr. Jacob Garlinger, Mrs. Deanna Gertie, Ms. Shonda LaRock, Ms. Sandra Lee, Mrs. Amy Obenhouse, Mrs. Vanessa Robichaux, and Mr. James Scott. Please give, and also, lastly but not least, Hebron High School's lead counselor, Mrs. Tracy Schinkel. Please give our campus leaders a warm welcome as well. Next are our most prominent seniors on stage with me, Valedictorian Claire Boschert and Salutatorian June Jane. Thank you. Next, seated below me and in the front row are 11 of the best principals in the state. They are principals of our Hebron feeder schools. First is Arbor Creek Middle School Principal, Mrs. Joni Finch. Creek Valley Middle School Principal, Mrs. Nicole Junn. Killian Middle School Principal, Mrs. Deanne Angonia. Cody Ridge Elementary School Principal, Ms. Paget Cervantes. Pulsar Elementary School Principal, Mr. Adam Gray. Tom Hicks Elementary School Principal, Mr. Curtis Martin. Hebron Valley Elementary School Principal, Mrs. Renee Marks. Homestead Elementary School Principal, Mr. Sean Perry. Castle Hills Elementary School Principal, Mrs. Donna Taylor. Indian Creek Elementary School Principal, Mrs. Amy Teddy. And Independence Elementary School Principal, Mrs. Teddy Winslow. Please give these principals a warm hand. Lastly but not least, he stands alone as the leader of our school district, the superintendent of the Louisville Independent School District, the Honorable Dr. Kevin Rogers. Thank you, honored guests. Next, please enjoy Hebron High School's award-winning band playing Esprit de Corps, followed by our salutatorian, the intelligent and personable Mr. June Jane.
Thank you, Hebron Band, for your outstanding performance as always. And thank you, Mr. Finch, for the welcoming words. Choir, at this time, I invite you to take your place on the risers. Good afternoon, teachers, family members, and graduates. It is an honor to be speaking in front of you all today. Before I begin, I would like to say a few words of thanks. First and foremost, I want to thank all of my friends, especially Jung, Sam, Rishi, Sakshot, and John. You guys act like clowns all the time, but that's why I love you. Next, I would like to say thank you to the amazing teachers and administrators at Hebron, and a special thank you to Mrs. Courtney Herring. Your Latin class has inspired a love for language that I will continue to pursue. Lastly, to Mom, Dad, Young, and all of my family in South Korea watching on live stream. Your love and support is what motivated me throughout these past years, and I cannot thank you enough for that. I love you all. When my senior year first began, I couldn't help but join in on the excitement of finally finishing school. Third tears. Today, on June 5th of 2017, we mark the end of our high school careers. But as happy as I am to have finally reached the end, I want to share a story about a beginning. My first experience of school in the United States, and how I had my first existential breakdown as a kindergartner. My journey to the United States began 13 years ago when my mother, father, brother, and I stepped into the Dallas-Fort Worth airport, each holding on to hopes, ambitions, and the constant fear that someone would speak to us in English. When we first arrived, none of us could speak fluently. So with our skills combined, we could probably find the nearest restroom, but that was it. As a result, my first day of school at Castle Hills Elementary was just a little bit less than ideal. When my parents dropped my brother and me off, we were naturally scared. So feeling lost and stranded, my brother and I held hands, held back our tears, and bravely walked in. But I didn't last long. A few steps into the building, the floodgates opened and I began to cry. I was overwhelmed by fear and a crippling stomachache from my anxiety. A teacher came to our rescue when she noticed a pair of Asian kids just fumbling around the front entrance. So crying and holding onto my stomach, I was escorted to the nurse's office while my brother was taken to his class. The nurse guessed that my stomach hurt because I needed to use the restroom. What I wanted to, but did not know how to tell her, was that I didn't need to go to the restroom. I just needed my mom. So there I was, sitting on the toilet, trying to figure out what potty meant, wiping away tears, and having my first genuine breakdown. As I said, just a little bit less than ideal. But when I look back to that time, I realized two things. For one, I now know what potty means. Second, I think my experience represents a larger, more natural fear that most of us had at some point in our lives. The fear of something new. When we're taken out of a routine we're used to and placed into an environment or a situation that we have never experienced, we may feel nervous or afraid of what might come next. In less than 2 hours, we will all have graduated. And as we transition from one part of our lives to the next, we may end up feeling this anxiety and fear. But that's okay if you do. Feel scared and feel anxious. It's almost hardwired into our brains, so what else can we do? What's important isn't that you're feeling these fears or that you're nervous, but that you don't dwell on these fears or get held back by them. Instead, feel excited or feel happy, because change, while it may be scary, is also an opportunity for improvement, whether that's going to college, moving across the country, or pursuing your career. Overcoming the fear of the unknown is something I'll work on for the rest of my life. But whenever I'm posed with an unfamiliar situation and I feel nervous, I do my best to embrace the moment. Because even if you may be afraid in the face of change, you might eventually learn something from that change. Maybe even a cool word like potty. So Hebron class of 2017, it's been fun. As we graduate today and continue with our lives, I cannot wait to see where we end up. This may sound strange, but today, I hope you are scared. And I hope you are anxious. But more than anything, I hope that you are excited. Thank you very much. Now, it is my pleasure to introduce you to the valedictorian of our class, the legend herself, Claire Boschert. But before we hear from Claire, please join me in welcoming the Hebron Choir for its performance of I Should Be Glad by Susan LeBar.
Thank you to our Hebron High School choir that, by the way, had 6 All-Staters this year. And thank you, June, for the kind introduction and for always going the extra mile with me. Seniors, in the past 4 years, we have accomplished so much. We have learned about the world and about each other. We have competed and created. We have grown up and into ourselves with the help of amazing teachers, mentors, and parents. And we have likely consumed years' worth of amazing media. We have watched hours of TV and movies, read hundreds of pages of novels and comics, but somehow it seems that nearly every other one is about a high school protagonist coming into their own. We've all heard one of these stories. The Catcher in the Rye, Ender's Game, The Breakfast Club, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Mean Girls, Gilmore Girls, or 13 Reasons Why. Even this year's musical, Footloose. Nearly every other piece is a retelling of the same ancient story, the coming-of-age story. They say that high school is a time when you form your values, your goals and dreams and opinions, a time when you learn about the world around you. We all have coming-of-age stories to tell that center around these last 4 years. Mine, like everyone else's, is a little bit awkward and occasionally cringy, but nonetheless important to who I am today. And it goes something like this. In middle school, I developed an obsession, not with silly bands or Heelys or One Direction like my fellow tweens, but with socks. At first, I was following a trend of mismatched neon socks, but I soon realized that I preferred to have my feet adorned with giraffes and four-leaf clovers. I built up a collection, socks with polar bears, socks with bicycles, socks with little lemons. And somewhere along the way, it became something my friends noticed, something I was known for. At the end of 8th grade, just as I was preparing to attend South River High School, I discovered that my family would be moving from Annapolis, Maryland to Louisville, Texas to attend some school called Hebron High School. Before we left, my best friend gave me a pair of cute socks with whales on them. I wore those socks for the first time with a bittersweet smile as my family squeezed into the car for our move cross country. All of my 9th grade year here at Hebron High School, I wore my whale socks at least once a week. I was even wearing them the day we spent an extra hour in the dark in our first period classes because of a bomb threat. I had other great socks with Labradors on them, socks with trees and socks with zebras, but the whale socks are the ones I loved the most, the ones I wanted to show off, the ones that reminded me of home. I especially loved to show off those socks in academic decathlon, and so at the end of the year, when everyone in ACDEC got an award, mine was ACDEC Protege in whale socks. After my freshman year, my grandfather died. As we mourned his loss, we remembered his love of desserts, especially s'mores, his off-key singing, and his passion for crazy socks. At his funeral, everyone came wearing socks with bright, clashing colors, just like he had. That summer, my family and I learned to deal with the type of loss we all face scattered throughout our lives. That summer, I also realized that perhaps I'd inherited that love of socks just a little bit from him. I think my grandfather and I would both agree that interesting socks are a way to add a bright spot in life, even if you're the only one who knows they're there. Sophomore year rolled around, and I relied less on my whale socks every day, but more on them for my important tests. I found myself wearing socks featuring elephants for the first burning popcorn fire evacuation, but I returned to my favorite whale socks for the finals that intimidated me and for my first AP test. Slowly, they changed from being my favorite whale socks to being my lucky whale socks. I may not have believed in luck, but it was just my way of saying that these socks are important to me. My junior year, the socks became a real nickname. As leader of the ACDEC team, I became Captain Whale Socks. My many socks helped me to finally gain the confidence to joke and laugh not only in ACDEC, but also while performing and writing Henry Clay the Musical in A-Push, and while persecuting witches in APLAC. My narwhal socks and Doctor Who socks and owl socks became fun conversation pieces. They were also a way for me to remember my grandfather, to carry on his legacy, and to quietly be myself. This past year, our senior year, was full of successes. Our marching band placed second at state. Our football team made playoffs. Our volleyball team won state for the second year in a row. Theater's one act placed second in state for the first time ever. Our boys soccer team advanced to regional finals. Boys basketball won district, and girls golf advanced to state. But this past year, our senior year, was also full of lasts. Last first day, last holiday break, last finals, last day. This past year was full of fond memories during football games and with the AP Bio Ducklings and at prom at the Perot Museum. This past year has been the final piece to shape us into the people we are today, but only the people we are today, because tomorrow we will have yet another yesterday to add to the list of days we have lived. In my last year of high school yesterdays, I wore different socks every day through government and economics and every monotonous fire drill. However, for every college interview, every step towards this ginormous change that is happening in our lives, I returned to my lucky whale socks. I wore them to comfort myself and to remember how much I have grown, how much we have all grown since middle school and freshman year. Today, I might be tempted to tell you that my coming-of-age story is over, that I have finished with my growing and my whale socks, just like we have finished with high school. But that would not be the truth. The stories we tell may have defined beginnings and endings, but we must remember why we tell stories. We tell stories to share our reality, to empathize with people of different experiences and backgrounds, to imagine worlds of adventure and excitement and magic. But we also tell stories as a way to define and organize the world around us. As straightforward as my whale sock story may seem, reality was not nearly as orderly or simple or concise or defined. And we each have our own complicated, confusing, vitally important stories to tell, our own whale socks. Contrary to what we may learn from our fantastic media, from our coming-of-age stories, at the end of this ceremony, when we, the Hebron High School class of 2017, graduate and step into our futures, we will not be finished coming of age. We must grow and change our entire lives. To stop is to become stuck in the past, in the present, until it is the past. So I encourage you to learn, to adventure, to experiment, and to grow as the protagonist of your own story. Thank you. Now, I would like to welcome back to the podium the persistently present and terrifically tall, Mr. Scott Finch.
Thank you, Claire, for that personal story. At this time, I would ask the high school staff to take their positions off stage for the presentation of diplomas. Dr. Rogers, I am pleased to present to you the senior class of 2017 for Hebron High School. There are before us 887 exceptional seniors. I have verified that each of these seniors have met the requirements of the Texas Education Agency and the Louisville Independent School District and should be awarded the appropriate diploma or certificate at this time.
Thank you, Mr. Finch. To you, the Hebron High School class of 2017, please know that we are very proud of your accomplishments. We also look forward to even greater achievements in your future. Congratulations. Mrs. Cox, Mr. Finch has verified these students eligible to receive their diploma or certificate. Therefore, by the authority vested in me by the state of Texas and the Louisville Independent School District Board of Trustees, I certify them. Their diplomas or certificates are to be awarded at this time. Congratulations.
Claire Kathleen Boschert. June Jang. Adam Thomas Halimi. Spencer Quentin Rojas. Chase William Weinman. Marissa Shivani Atri. Brendan Joseph Fitzgerald. Simon Leonidovich Volivnik. Amna Akhtar Aslam. Jun Young Park. Danielle Gina Choi. Jung Young Kim. Nasim Dalarifar. Mina Magdi Tadros. Erica Mina Kang. Twangvi Win Wong. Morgan Ryland Kraft. Diane Briseño. Ali Hussein Bawala. Christopher Nicholas Sanborn. Brandon Kyle Hardy. Audrey F. Lee. Maya Jade Finch. Alyssa Nicole Beardsley. John Huang Nguyen. John Joseph Nan Nguyen. Christina Nicole Hamilton. Josh Tushar Pujara. Ali Abbas. Jason Lee. Javid Khan. Yeben Lee. Soo Jin Park. Lauren Chaewon Song. Courtney Jungyeon Suh. Ayush Nehal Shah. Brianna Lucia Bleal. Nathan Miles Blank. Jewel Dion Connor. Trevor King Deathridge. Emily Sarah Tran. Taylor Marie Courtney. Kimberly Brooke Morrison. Ross Mitchell Sanchez. Ramteen Kohandel. Vivian Kim Dang. Simran Kaur Sohal. Jacob Michael Bray. Laurel Ann Burr. Emma Evanson Hauk. Karen Rajiv Bao. Sabrina Melissa Gambini. Tiffany Yalen Shin. Lexi Michaela Debraska. Kevin Wang Zhang. Sandra Kushil Kumar. Jamie Tam Nguyen. Emily Diane Dean. Amanda Josephine Hassel. Eric Sang Woo Ma. Emma Elizabeth Thrower. Avery Noel Rodriguez. Mihir Anand Lule. Samina Hanif. Courtney Michelle Seal. Marissa Michelle Bresgo. Sa Young Kim. Helen Han Win. Sean Young. Rishi Sai Ada. Lindsay Marie Hamilton. Haley Marie Nichols. Georgia Ray Neal. Emily Claire Rutherford. Maya Nicole Manjane. Sabrina Baria. Sania Shajana Jiwani. Bailey Vaughn Ray. Jason Deng. Kyle Anthony Burford. Nikki Sonata Mustofi. Sarika R. Subramanian. Allison Grace A.K. Jenna Victoria Williams. Alexandria Lorianne Edmond. Justin E. John. Ricardo Avila Person. Sakshat Sinha. Divya Peter Thomas. Harry Prasad Siravor. Niyari Manish Moda. Luis Carlos Najera Ruiz. Jacob Thomas Avalos. Sofia Abbas. Saman Abbazadeh. Zachary Hassan Mumin Abdelhadi. Jeremiah Abdullah. Jacob Kudakisrael Abraham. John Anthony Acevedo Santana. Islam Shah Murad Adam. Genesis Daniela Aguilar. Kiki Urena Ajatun Mobi. Ziba Nizar Akbar. Farouk Olatunde Akire. Amin Ali. Anisa Safdar Ali. Maya Sultan Ali. Neha Ali. Rabia Ali. Rahil Rahimatullah Ali. Rubab Fatima Ali. Shazab Ali. Shazain Siraj Ali. Shelby Michelle Allen. Aniela Ishel Alonso. Brianna Lee Alonso. Nia Jocelyn Alvarez. Juan Humberto Alvarez Camacho. Olivier Pierre Amin. Chiun An. Richard An. Ashley Lynn Achundia. Bailey Paris Anderson. Jillian Grace Anderson. Mitchell Edward Anderson. Brian Michael Andrews. Channing Rafe Andrews. Leo Ramsey Andrews. Iman Anwar. Joshua Matthew Apple. Blake Preston Armstrong. Dylan Cole Armstrong. Gwyneth Elise Armstrong. Jasmine Simone Armstrong. Alondra Arroyo. Andrew Gerard Atwood. Jasmine Avila. Victoria Aviles Quiriño. Jacob Adam Akwal. Safiula Babar. Isabella Vanessa Badruddin. Javier Baez Adames. Shelby Nicole Baker. William Lamar Baker. Luis Mario Valderrama. Sherry Baloch. Sydney Elise Banks. Marangalise Barreto Perez. Alyssa Alexis Barrientos. Robert Granil Bates Jr. Lindsay Nicole Batterson. Andres Felipe Bedoya Nava. Garrett Lane Beebe. John Peter Becker. Paulina Itzil Beltran. Nikita Chernovich Belayev. Richard John Reyes Benavente. Taylor Ann Berg. Elizabeth Tiffany Berglund. Liliana Cruz Bersosa. Allison Catherine Birch. Emily Lauren Bethke. Victoria Christine Wheeler Beveridge. Drew Elise Biermeyer. Caitlin Lee Bishop. Miles Austin Black. William Christopher Barnard II. Alexis Linda Bear. Stephen Anthony Bosey. Faith Taylor Bolin. Amanda Afton Bonds. Kevin Evelio Bosch. Valerie Diane Bork. Daniel Robert Bowler. Matthew Richard Bowler. Jaylee Keela Brannon.
Jordan Marcel Breedlove. Jacob Patrick Briggs. Liam Peter Briscoe. Margot Renee Brode. Justin Tyler Brown. Matthew Allen Brown. Roderick Isaiah Brown. Keelan Renard Burrell Jr. Amanda Lee Burlsmith. Kayla Simone Burford. Cameron Elizabeth Burks. Caden Jeans Musha Burr. Amy Lynn Burrow. Angelica Elizabeth Bustios. Austin Thomas Butler. Michaela Alexis Callahan. Adolfo Calixto. Alyssa Naomi Campbell. Melissa Elaine Cannington. Lisa Knock Cow. Maxwell Taylor Kaplan. Hannah Elizabeth Karakolis. Michael Barron Caravella. Logan Marie Carey. Van Lee Carmine IV. Tatiana Kiera Caraway. Marissa Shea Carrion. Alejandro Jose Cartagena. Amanda Karen Case. Tiara Filizola de Sena Casimo. Julia Castañeda. Alexandra Nicole Castillo. Cynthia Castillo Flores. Jace Marcelo Teoni Castillo. Leonardo Castillo. Kathia Castro. Owen Matthew Cawley. Jonathan Richard Cavagnaro. Jeremiah Capamamudo Chaco. Heidi Yaram Che. Spencer Reed Chaikin. Rhea Jean Shalhoub. Emily Shea Champion. Esther Chang. Nathan Charles Cheatham. Sean Thompson Chalette. Bevan George Champanon. Andrin Chiriath. Amy Chu. Anna Cho. Jane Jin Choi. Daniel Jinwoo Chong. Riyad Rahim Chowdhury. Elizabeth Ann Christensen. Jinwoo Chung. Soe Chung. Antoinette Rodi Semino. Harry Lothario Clancy. Sarah Elizabeth Clonch. Thomas Elliott Clothier. Jordan Isaiah Cockrum. Caroline Marie Coker. Emily Elizabeth Colbert. Sanisha Raquel Coleman. Grayson Patrick Connolly. Nicole Cherie Cooper. Sean Francis Cooper. Samantha Elizabeth Rose Corbin. Adriana Linda Ray Cordoba. Robert Frederick Corson Jr. Megan Diane Kudamanos. Avery Coggins Crow. Darcy Ann Collins. Tate Alexander Curfew. Jason Dye. Trent Dylan Dagenalt. Jessica Dom. Nancy Lynn Dang. Yvonne Nok Dang. Shanae Laquale Daniels. Gabriella Grace B. David. Adriana Denise Davis. Ashton Ryan Davis. Emily Abigail Davis. India Nicole Davis. James Micah Davis. Michaela Cherie Davis.
Tara Brianne Davis. Lazaria Kayshawn Davis Johnson. Scout Gaiton Dawson. Elizabeth Virginia de la Cruz. Ashley Marie De Leon. Tiffany Mae Malia Dearman. Jesus Bonerje Delgado. Sarah Delia. Zachary Dixon Deloach. Mackenzie Tate Dembski. Brittany Danielle Dennis. Brandon Pierre de Peralta. Antonio Flores Dickinson. Aubrey Lynn Dixon. Kevin Lee Donald. Kristana Elaine Dorick. Lanesha Roche Doss. Alexandria Gabrielle Douglas. Connor Thomas Drain. Anna Druniak. Adam Douglas Dreyer. Samantha Lauren Drosty. Gabriella Alexis Duca. Maggie Elizabeth Dye. Sophie Hong Yao Ebbinghaus. Nautica Nicole Eddings. Hawanza Dion Edwards. William Colin Edwards. Sony Elsa Roy. Preston Luke Inlow. Jose Ariel Escareño. Michael Anderson Escobar. Alec Manuel Eskenazi. Ashley Marie Esposito. Grace Marie Estes. Brienne Ray Evans. Kadadrian Lee Evans. Stephen Charles Fabic. Stephen Alexander Fagot. Crystal Evelyn Fick. Andres Damian Figueroa. Megan Danielle Flood. Hannah Claire Flores. Alejandra Flores Leal. Colin Wayne Foley. Chandler Michael Fowler. Olivia Paige Fowler. Alyssa Paige Foy. Haley Beatrice Franklin. Jada Charday Freeney. Andrew Stephen Fry. Jillian Nicole Fry. Julia Ann Gamble. Hannah Elizabeth Gant. Andrea Loren Garcia Labrada. Julia Grace Gardner. Tyler Gardner. Christina Pilar Garlish. Ryan Teal Gates. Amanda Lynn Gentry. Jesslyn Mary George. Lindsay Valio George Cuddy. Sean William Getty. Landon Price Gibson. Hannah Elizabeth Gilbert. Kira Serene Gill. Luis Enrique Gomez. Anastasia Marie Gomez. Johan Alessandro Gomez. Marissa Hermenia Gomez. Mateo M. Gomez Pardo. Ariana Serena Gonzalez. Luis Jose Gonzalez. Paola Isabel Gonzalez. Samantha Michelle Gonzalez. Valerie Lisette Gonzalez. Lillian Chantel Goss. Kendall John Gacci. Braden Matthew Gould. Alexa Diane Gowans. Robert Lane Graham. Jason Wesley Grams. Jose Abel Granados Ortiz. Jamel Deshaun Gray. Shelby Michaela Lydia Griffin. Jose Omar Grijalva. Matthew Joseph Grivoy.
Brenda Marian Guizar. Jaime Eduardo Guzman. Joseph Ryan Hike. Anthony Carrion Hall. Connor Christian Haltman. Ryan Christopher Hamilton. Tristan Dakota Hamilton. Brahim Mohammed Hamza. Kiara Jemiah Handley. Joshua Brian Hardaway. Trevor Dean Harden. Vera Andrea Hardono. Cody Ryan Harrington. Delana Anise Harris. Madison Grace Harris. Ashley Nicole Hart. Brett Marion Hart. Catherine Abigail Harvey. Hunter Thomas Hassler. Batul Hassan. Marcus Alexander Hayes. Stephanie Rose Heffler. Avery Webb Hyman. Suman K. Himani. Rayvon Malik Henry. Madison Shelby Herbst. Madison Lontalk Hernandez. Moises Alexander Hernandez. Galen Richard Herr. Javier Cesar Herrera. Adriana Marcel Hickey. Michael Joseph Hidalgo. Nicholas William Hill. Garrett Travis Hilliard. Taylor Mary Himes. Garrett Andrew Hines. Tyler Harrison Hinkle. Alexandra Faith Hare. Christian Garrett Holbrook. Daisy Deshai Lachey Holder. Matthew Thomas Holdorf. Devin Lynn Hollefeld. Cameron Alec Hollingsworth. Jeffrey Hong. Rebecca Lee Hood. Sharish Rafiq Huda. Sunny Huda. Corey Danielle Hopkins. Nectarios Robert Horiates. Natalie Elise Horn. Morgan Cynthia Horowitz. Catherine Ann Hoven. Pedro Alejandro Huerta Freire. Destiny Andrea Hughes. Shamil Malik Hussein. Ali Kudabad Hussein. Assad Aga Hussein. Peter Huen. Mohammed Haider. Inara Mosim Haider Ali. Andrew Uchechi Ibe. Martin Manuel Iglesias Munoz. Israel Onyemechi Igwe. Aya Jabber. Amira Camille Jackson. Jack Bradley Jackson. Tiana Janae Jackson. Zachary James Jackson. Brandon Jacob. Tina Elizabeth Jacob. Syed Nafse Hassan Joffrey. Cole Michael Bruce Jameson. Emma Nicole Jenkins. Sumin Jong. Lily Catalina Jimenez. Zohir Javani. Al Karim Mahmoud Jiwani. Youngjae Joe. Ben John John. Casey S. John. Chris Baby John. Sitcho Abraham John. Alexander Luis Johnson. Anna Ray Johnson. Keelan Dequan Johnson. Kelsey Ann Johnson. Ryan Michael Johnson. Tashana Bracinda Denise Johnson.
Joshua Ian Johnston. Gavin David Jolly. Christopher Dean Jones. Colin Delon Jones. Hannah Christine Jones. Jessica Lynn Jones. Ryan Austin Jones. Sydney Danielle Jones. Jomar Dwayne Jones Thomas. Grishma Sarah Joseph. Prithu K. Joseph. Neha Joshi. Jamie Joy. Jason Joy. Jeon Jung. Spencer Blue Kane. Athanasi Evstraitos Karagiorgio. Ian Kim. Hyrin Kim. JJ Kim. Jinwoo Kim. Nan Young Kim. Sun Young Kim. Yaju Kim. Gina Koo. Aubrey V. Koselski. Sherry Therese Couture. Angelica Claire Kukulas. Tara Alexis Kramer. Fernando Krasowski Morlet. Alina Rachel Krasinski. Jacob Andrew Coors. Ashley Ann Curian. Doris Sunhae Kwan. Dramon Kentra Lane. Nicole Karen Lara. Ashton Chase Laughlin. Nui Huang Lei. Nathan Jeremiah Leach. Vanessa Ann Leard. Lane Garrison Ledesma. Jessica Jihei Lee. Subin Lee. Soo-kyung Lee. Yun-hee Lee. Abby Morgan Levinson. Ashley Patrice Lewis. Brianna Lynn Lewis. Francisco Javier Leiva. Arthur Lynn. Christopher Adam David Luttrell. Emily Liu. Tiana Denise Lott. Nicole Elise Lowry. Nicolette Grace Lowry. Brooke Hunter Lloyd. Patrick Tyler Lucas. Alexis Eduardo Lucio. Ethan Michael Luke. Austin Orion Lundquist. Ashley Lupian. Selena Diana Lusan. Benjamin David Lutz. Andrew Cookon Liu. Madeline Aubrey MacArthur. Hariz Muhammad Ali Madani. Juan Sebastian Madrid. Sarah Maharali. Elizabeth Ann Majors. Rudolph Ashton Malasik. Sophie Ann Malis. Sydney Kaplan Manchester. Nathan Clark Manhas. Sabrina Monique Mansfield. Derica Elise Manuel. Braden Thomas Martin. Haley Bryn Martin. Yari Paul Martin. Heidi Ruby Martinez.
Jennifer Martinez. Coral Martinez Leon. Blake Alexandria Mason. Tiffany Summer Mason. Sheba Masali. Muhammad Hamza Master. Lydia Susan Mathai. Roshan V. Matthew. Jasmine Ariel Matthews. Julia Lynn Matthews. Joseph Lawrence Malden. Macy Marie McAnally. Joseph Lee Stewart McCrae. Alexandria Danae McCullough. James Henry McFadden. Sarah Catherine McGee. Justin Lee McGovern. Andrew Mark McIntyre. Kylie Shay McLaughlin. Ari Jadavia McMahon. Daniel Eduardo Meinhardt. Madeline Marie Mentasana. Munsha Ramzanali Merchant. Megan Ann Merrill. Ronnie Mary Roy. Carol Macias. Madison Rose Messerly. Seth William Meyer. Brooke Alexis Miller. Connor James Miller. Madison Jade Miller. Lydia Renee Ming. Nicholas Traylon Charles Mitchell. Anusha Mithani. Aftab Ali Mithwani. Michelle Ruth Moeller. Cameron Monet. Christopher Thomas Moore. Dwayne Eldridge Moore Jr. Michaela Marie Moore. Tanner Michael Mosley. Josiah Jaron Moses. Morgan Louise Mulder. Rebecca Grace Muncie. Tyler Chase James Mundy. Sochi Isabel Munoz. Camila Valeria Murillo Guerrero. Connor Allen Murley. Austin Taylor Murphy. Heather Michelle Music. Shruti Sudhir Nair. Corey Macklin Nance. Naveed Nasrallah Nathani. Lachey Tejan Neely. Matthew Evan Nelson. Mataja Deshay Newman. Cindy Go. Ben Thatch Tu Wen. Christian Fu Wen. David Ton Wen. Hui Duke Wen. Jasmine Marie Wen. Lester Hone Wen. Troy Phil Wen. Philip Ness. Kareem Altaf Noorani. Braden Thomas Norell. Alexandra Jonette Novak. William Preston Nolan. Amarachi Ife Okafor. Chukwudalu Okafor. Thomas Eric Olson. Luis Alejandro Olvera. Megan Ustazen. McKenna Lee Orr. Daniel Wayne Overstreet. Javier Juanye Owens. And Kita Chaitra Padarthi. Julianne Grace Page. Abigail Ardelis Paulman. Jordan Lane Palmer. Mark Anthony Palomar. Nikhil Jacob Paniker. Zain Sohail Panjwani. Ranish John Padaparutu. Daniel Park. David Park.
Derek Hyungwook Park. Evangeline Faith Parker. Ishan H. Patel. Andrew Lee Patterson. Lacey Glenn Payne. Danielle Lynn Peña. Alejandra Penagos. Jasmine Perez. Tiana Nashay Perkins. Caitlin Renee Perry. Zachary Thomas Perry. Dallas Serene Perryman. Hannah Elizabeth Pettigrew. Lucas Carl Petty. Andy Huang Pham. Dominique Taylor Pham. Johnson Fan. Christy Lee Phelps. Madison Simone Phillips. Turner Christopher Pukalinski. Elizabeth Catalina Pina. Muhammad Bakr Pirbay. Stephen Michael Pizzillo. Camille Renee Plunkett. Christopher William Poindexter. Sydney Ann Pointer. Kendall Michelle Ponder. Shezer Nurdin Punjani. Heidi Bryn Pop. Evan Rashad Powell. Rashawn Caleb Predier. Kaylee Mariah Shigoda. Matthew Alexander Pulido. John Mitchell Bustos Carrickhill. Michael Anton Quinn. Elaine Marie Rabelais. Brock Logan Rochelle. Prem Rajkitkul. Naveen Ramachandran. Diana Marcela Ramirez. Luis Kaylin Ramirez. Serena Marie Ramsey. Catherine Logan Randall. Peyton Lee Randall. Abby Marie Raymond. Zoe Elise Reck. Devin Christopher Reed. Kristen Renee Reese. Kamish Akbar Ramatullah. Royce Parker Reed. Jacob Charles Reinheimer. Jace Victoria Reinkin. Jackson Alexander Reinkin. Bartok Konrad Rezniak. Dorian Claire Recki. Maria Fernanda Rebeles. Vini France Assis Revilla. Steve Reyes. Natalie Carol Reynolds. Kayla Annette Ricks. Peyton Elizabeth Ricks. Addison Nicole Riley. Cassidy Renee Rios. Megan Diane Ritter. Aaliyah Elena Rivera. Asia Olivia Rivera. Diego Sebastian Rivera. Brianna Lachey Robinson. Maria Camila Rocha. Ana Paulina Rodriguez. Danielle Cedars Rodriguez III. Vanessa Rodriguez. Adrian Arturo Rodriguez Perez. Marilyn Giselle Rojas Romero. John Halloran Romanow. Tristan Patrick Robanowski. Thomas David Allen Rose. Kirsten Aneska Rosipal. Hunter Lee Rawson. Amanda Christensen Roth. Caleb Austin Ruiz. Kayla Nicole Rival. Joel Katako Sabu. Ali Zane Sadruden. Emma Murphy Signs. Ethan Marsh Signs.
Maham Safdar. Sumitro Saha. Ashley Nicole Salinas. Raina Audrey Saltzman. Kyra Janae Sampson Smith. Sonia Sanchez. Uzair Answer Sandrani. Alexander Jacob Santea. Melanie Lynn Sassano. Trevor Francis Schmaling. Alan Merritt Schroeder. Megan Nicole Schronk. Rachel Lindsay Scott. Sabin Sebastian. Ha Min So. Sina Sung. Daniel Tonatio Sevilla. McKinley Ann Schaefer. Shreyan's Komlesh Shah. Abdullah Omar Faisal Sheikh. Andy Gabriella Shavers. Clayton Ross Sherfy. Megan Sherman. Jimin Shin. Seth Holland Shirey. Saif Siddiqui. Siam Siddiqui. Jade Allen Seiler. Brittany Nicole Simmons. Weston Isom Simmons. Devin Alexander Simon. Connor Dalton Simpson. Alexandria Lynn Slaughter. Benjamin Aiden Smith. David Ray Smith. James Nicholas Smith. Eric Javon Snow II. Chastity Angelica Som. Jake S. Son. Paul Song. Samuel Woojin Song. Amir Hyder Sumro. Cheyenne Lynn South. Jalen Alexander Spiller. Micah Ollie Spradling. Nathan Alexander Sprout. Matthew Caleb Staub. Kevin Richard Stack. Jaden McKay Stevenson. Cameron Clifton Stewart. Caroline Elizabeth Stockdale. Sydney Michaela Streens. Rebecca Hannah Sue. Inara H. Subzali. Jackson Ryan Suhaney. Alaman Suleiman Sultan. Kiara Teon Sumans. Hannah Sunil. Cameron Lane Swan. Tatiana Miche Sykes. Jada Anissa Teague. Chase Alexander Temple. Stacy Teniente. Jacob Thomas Terry. Mark Christian Theriak. Dana Nicholas Thibodeau Edenberg. Alan Thomas. Logan Wheelock Thomas. Marin Thomas. Nathan Wade Thompson. Jake Ryan Tidwell. Megan Lynn Tolbert. Austin Min Huang Tran. Diane Anna Tran. James Min Hung Tran. Whit Tai Tran.
Ricky Tran. McKenna Charisse Traylor. Trace Austin Turner. Cedric James Ruzol Urbino. Emily Ann Yusi. Kendall Marie Van Dale. Caitlin Nicole Van Voren. Alexandra Nicole Vanderheiden. Ali Grace Vandervorst. Carlos Abaki Vargas Perez. Rahul Matthew Varki. Sarah Saji Varghese. Trenton Douglas Varville. Savannah Nicole Vasquez. Victoria Vasquez Tucker. Darian LaShawn Vaughn. Leon Daniel Vega Sarraga. Ricardo Velez Torres. Leah Catherine Venable. Stephanie Villalobos. Frida Carolina Villanueva. Cristian Simón Villarreal. Jacob Anthony Villarreal. John Luke Villarreal. Marissa Kaylee Villarreal. Mariana Villegas. Alex Vicente Jr. Aliza Virani. Sophia Natasha Bleedstra. Madison Tyrese Wade. Hunter Cade Waite. Callista Lane Wallingford. Sarah Elizabeth Walls. Jessica Lauren Washington. Brittany Taylor Weatherford. Kelly Renee Weaver. Joshua Ryan Wellborn. Cameron Gaddafi Jamal West. Katie Alexis Westland. Zachary Paul Wachinski. Gabrielle Claudine White. Skylar Rose Whitley. Jeremiah David Wiley. Kayla Janae Williams. Donovan Jason Williams. Erica Jane Wilson. Taylor Joanne Wilson. Olivia Brielle Wintercamp. Randall Page Walker. Kara Nicole Wers. Cyan Asia Chavadia Wamwell. Cameron Alexis Wood. Nathaniel Craig Woodfield. Aiden Powell Wright. Mari Sharon Wright. Nathaniel Stephen Wright. Hannah Naomi Wettrick. Jillian Grace Wynn. Kasia Lanice Yancey. Yuna Yang. Ryan Sol Yi. June Yoon. Shannon Ann York. Sienna Brienne Yuharia Young. Jacob Luis Young. Hamza bin Yusuf. Sarar Zahir. Sierra Nicole Zeiler. Jessica Marie Ziesmer.
right. We've got more, though. Please welcome another top 20 student and an outstanding swimmer to give closing remarks. Please welcome Mr. Chris Sanborn.
Thank you, Mr. Finch, for the introduction and everything you've done for our school. So, I'm the only thing standing between you and those exit doors, so I'll do my best to keep these closing remarks brief. Some of us are sitting here now in a place we never thought we'd reach. That's something that should give you hope in your life to come. All of us made a goal to make it through high school, and on top of that, achieve the distinctions that make us unique. Whether as a student you want to have the highest class rank possible, learn a skill that will help you in the real world, or even make friends by going out of your comfort zone, everyone here has had aspirations that seemed impossible but found a way to make your goals a reality. This motivation driving us into the future is what determines exemplary students from average ones. All of us had the opportunity to make their high school experience exactly what they wanted, despite those classes that sometimes might have felt like they're eating all our free time. Successes in high school should serve as a reminder for each of us to stay motivated and make big plans for our futures. I mean, let's be honest, the saying is kind of true. An idiot with a plan is better than a genius without one. So, Hebron High School class of 2017, keep setting the bar high and keep exceeding everyone's expectations. Now I'd like to introduce Marissa Attry, our senior class treasurer and our student council member of the year, and Spencer Rojas, our senior class vice president and Hawk TV star for the Turning of the Tassels in our school alma mater.
Thanks, Chris, for that kind introduction. At this time, we'd like to invite the choir to move to the risers. Parents, teachers, and loved ones, thank you again for being here to support your graduates. I would like to thank all my teachers and advisors who have supported me through these 4 years of hardship and triumph. I'd also like to thank my parents, family, and friends who have kept me focused on what's important in life.
I would like to thank all of my family, especially everyone here today, including my parents, Shilva and Steve Attry, and my sister Serena, for pushing me to be my best and for their never-ending support. I would also like to thank my teachers for inspiring me and getting me through 4 years of hard classes. And finally, thank you to my friends for keeping me sane through all the stress and for all the memories we've made throughout the years.
These 4 years we spent together have felt like 4 months, and even though we'll all go our separate ways, I know we'll all still bleed black, silver, and blue. Graduates, at this time, would you please rise? You may now turn your tassels from right to left. The left side is where your heart is, and that's where Hebron will be for the rest of our lives. And whether you're going to be a Texas Longhorn
or a St. Cloud State Husky, you'll know that Hebron will always be there for you. We are now all officially Hebron High School alumni. Please raise your talents and join us in the alma mater. And remember, wait until Mr. Finch gives you the green light to toss your caps. To welcome back to the podium, the leader of the Hawk's Nest, Mr. Finch.
Thank you, Spencer. Thank you, Marissa. I appreciate that. I want to say a few words before we get out of here and before we throw those hats, okay? So hang on to those. Let's make this quick before the sun goes down. 15 senior classes have come before you. Since I've been here, each senior class exceeds the accomplishments of the previous senior class, and so it is with you as well. You have the distinction of being the largest class in Hebron's history, graduating 887 graduates today. In addition, you have been great at everything. Your class has been offered over $8 million in scholarships, and your success in academics, community service, fine arts, and athletics is unsurpassed by any previous class. As an example of your success this year, you were UIL Academic District Champions, a first in the school's history. You have been a part of 4 state championships in girls soccer, girls cross country, and twice in volleyball. You have been a part of 2 silver medal finishes in the UIL marching band contest, and you're a part of the Bands of America's Grand Nationals finals, earning the bronze medal your first time there. Your class was a part of the only Hebron choir to be invited to perform at the main stage at the Texas Music Educators Association, and this year Theater and You brought home the bronze medal in the UIL one-act play. Perhaps there is no better indicator of the overall performance of a school than the state's UIL Lone Star Cup, a measure of academics, fine arts, and athletics. As I speak to you right now, you're out of over 250 6A schools in the state, you're 5th in the state. A ranking never achieved before in school history. Another measure of our school that no state A through F rating can evaluate is your service to those in need. No class has spent more hours serving its community than you, including your outpouring of love and donations for students and staff who have lost their homes to fire or tornadoes, or even worse, the loss of one of your friends or family members. But perhaps your most successful quality has been your loyalty to and your friendship with each other. Because of this, you have created the school spirit and esprit de corps that Hebron has enjoyed over the past 4 years. Because you were great, you made Hebron High School great and a force to be reckoned with. Though today is a joyous occasion, I sense that you may have some apprehension for what lies ahead, and I'm telling you as your principal, you'll be fine if you'll do 2 things for me. Number 1 is turn the page and start the new chapter in your life. Don't stay trapped in the life of high school. I've seen it too often. Do you remember going to kindergarten? Do you remember your nervousness going to 6th grade? How about going to high school in 9th grade? It was a scary time for many, but you made it. You've got this. Most importantly, starting a new chapter allows you the chance to start a brand new and to put away those mistakes you made and to make new friends and to take the opportunity to be the person that you fully want to be. Number 2 is be independent. Your parents and I for a while now have been teaming up behind your back to make you independent. We all agree it's time for you to leave the nest of high school and home. Don't get us wrong now. We love you and all, but it's time for you to spread your wings and fly. Parents, this is the amen portion of the program. But more than their desire for you to be independent, they have longed to see you soar and be successful after high school. Being independent is where it all starts. So remember, start that new chapter, don't be afraid, and you work on being independent. And lastly, since your teachers, coaches, and sponsors have given you much, much will be expected of you. Do you think they spend all that time teaching you, coaching you, and directing you for you not to succeed? You're crazy if you think different. It is also my hope that our school's motto will resonate in your life when those days become difficult and that you will accept nothing less than success. The staff of Hebron High School and I wish you the best. Be careful out there, come back and see us and let us know of the great things you're doing. Congratulations to you, Hebron High School's graduating class of 2017. You may now throw your cap. Thank you, parents, families, and friends. Be careful going home and have a good evening. Teachers and ushers, we now may begin our recessional.